How long has it been? A couple of weeks, couple of months, a year? They've gone, you're furious, but underneath it all there's this little quiet voice in your head that says, you just wait, they're so gonna regret this. You tell yourself, oh, they're having a midlife crisis, or one day now they're going to wake up and realise what they've lost and they're going to come running back to me with their tail between their legs. You're kind of hoping that it'll be sooner rather than later. Sweetie, I have some really bad news, and that is that this kind of fantasy can be really comforting. It can feel really good to think, yep, they're going to come back, they've made a mistake, it's going to be good, but it's going to keep you stuck for a really long time. It's going to stop you from grieving what's really happening. It's going to stop you from accepting what you need to, and it's going to stop you from starting the process of letting go. And I get it, I really get it. You know, the fantasy that some of us will build because it's too unbearable. You know, we've been in a relationship for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and we love that person, and we thought we had a perfect life, and we thought you know, everything was good, and we didn't see any signs that things were going wrong. And so our mind is trying to help us and protect us. Maybe it's a midlife crisis. Maybe something happened. They're probably just going through some, you know, maybe they're having some depression or something like that. So we tell ourselves the story because it's so unbearable. It's so painful to think this relationship is over. This fantasy of them coming back, it offers us a story, you know, they'll regret it, they'll come back, and then we'll be back on track again, it'll be okay. It's just a glitch. And that story, that fantasy that we build up, it really helps us to not face what is actually happening in our world right now, in the moment we're in right now. It's like a mental escape hatch. It's somewhere where we don't have to deal with the pain of what's going on, but it can also be a huge trap to get into. It provides us with false hope and a sense of fake control, you know what I mean? Believing that they're going to return, it kind of makes us not feel quite so powerless in what is really happening. You know, and we can tell ourselves, oh, just wait, you know, they're going to realise it'll be okay, it'll be okay. They've been through low things before, they're going to come through this, it'll be fine. But while we're in that space of waiting for them to realise, we are literally in limbo, we're in no man's land. We're not really living in our present moment, moving through stuff. We're just waiting on the sidelines for something to change, something we have no control over, something that the other person is going to have to decide if they're going to do or not. It means that we don't start the grieving process because we're waiting. I'm waiting, you know, they're coming though, they're going to come back. So, you know, I'm not going to get upset about it because they're coming back. You can't grieve somebody if you're still waiting for them. We have to deal with what is happening right now, not what we wish was happening right now. They have made a choice for whatever reason. They have left for whatever reason. Today, right now, they're not here. That's real. It's painful. It's distressing. It can be crazy making, especially if you don't understand what has happened. You don't have to like what's happened. You don't even have to think that, you know, there's some justifiable reason or not. But you do have to face it. You do have to be able to look at the situation and go, they have moved on. They're out of my life today. I hear you now going, yeah, maybe they'll come back. Maybe, but maybe they won't. And you can't start to deal with your life and what you're feeling and how you're going to handle the next chapters if you don't start getting honest with yourself about what's going on right here, right now. And you only can deal with that because that's factually accurate for this moment. It's happening. You know it's happening. You know, when we let go of the hope that they're coming back, when we let go of it, it doesn't mean we stop loving them. It doesn't mean that at all, you know. We can tell ourselves, I love them, but they're not here now. I love them, and they're not coming back, at least not today. You know, I want things to be different, but this is my reality in this given moment. We can do both. We can do I still long for and I have to accept today where I'm at. Today they're not here. It's really important to notice your thoughts without kind of getting hooked into them. And the whisper is, yeah, but. My daughter always says to me, butts of a poopy. And it's the yeah, but that's the sticky, right? That's the stuff that will stop us going. And, you know, I love them and they're not here. I love them and I want them to come back, but they're not back today. You don't have to feel ready to let go. You just have to be willing to let go. Letting go isn't about it being over. It's about making space for the way you feel right now and choosing to respond to yourself with compassion and care and love. It's about starting really small, acknowledging that it's a fantasy when it shows up. Oh, there's that thought that I have that maybe they'll change their mind, or there's that thought that I have that maybe it's just a midlife crisis and they're coming back. And then you have to gently bring yourself back to the present moment and go, yeah, this is a fantasy because they haven't told me that today. Today they're saying they don't want to be here, and I kind of have to deal with that even though it's really hard. We have to nudge ourselves gently forward by being compassionate and kind to ourselves. I often do this when I'm feeling really wounded and remind myself to be kind to myself. It's okay for me to love them. It's okay for me to miss them. It's okay for me to feel heartbroken. It's okay. The longing is really normal. The wishful thinking and the wishing things are different is really normal. But we can't heal at all unless we stop arguing with reality and we start building things today on what is here today. Today might look like crap for you. You might be just devastated, distressed, overwhelmed, and feeling like you can't cope. In those moments, I always recommend to women, come back to this second. What do you have to do right now? Get up, have a cuppa, have a shower, comb your hair, put on the washing, go to work, look after the kids. What is the very next thing you have to do to get through this day? And as the days pass, things get easier and easier. It takes time. When our relationship ends and we don't want it to, or worse still, it ends and we think, I don't even know where this came from, and it's just a shock to your system. The most important thing to do is be as gentle and kind to yourself as you possibly can. I work with women from all around the world. I run a workshop regularly called Heartbreak to Healing, where I work with women for a week free of charge, and we work on building up some emotional resilience to what's going on. If you're interested in that, it's probably in the pinned comment. You can find the link to that. Alternatively, if you can't wait for that to come up and you're feeling a bit desperate right now, you're more than welcome to come to one of my live Q&A events. They're held here on YouTube. You can come and ask me questions, or if you'd rather not ask questions, you can just listen to what some other women have asked me. That can be super helpful too. In addition to that, if you get up at 2 in the morning and you're pacing the floor and you don't know what to do with yourself, you're more than welcome to hop onto one of my playlists. I have a special one there for women where long-term relationships have ended. Just pop that on and have a listen to it. It can be really helpful. There's lots of resources in there. I've got a little downloadable booklet too that can help you get through those early days. No matter what's happening, I want you to know you'll get through this. It's going to be hard. It is going to be hard. There's no two ways about it. But take it one day at a time, and it can be more manageable. And with time, things will get easier. I promise. Bye, lovely.